Union of what? The United States?
So, for now, I think this actually boosts my confidence going into the World Championships.
So to a ratio, it is going to be an ObliqueSeville run. It's going to be very transparent, a massive run.
Don't get me wrong. I love the U.S. at times, but that ain't the world.
The men's 100 meters, the event that defines track and field, has just been thrown into chaos. The highly anticipated Lausanne showdown, billed as one of the biggest pre-World Championships races of the season, suddenly lost its star attraction when KishaneThompson, the fastest man in the world this year, vanished from the start list. That one move has flipped the narrative on its head. Fans are divided. Some believe he's dodging a dangerous rival. Others argue it's a masterstroke of strategy from his MVP training camp. But whether you see it as fear or brilliance, one thing is certain. The spotlight has now shifted squarely onto Jamaica's rising force, ObliqueSeville, and America's confident showman, NoahLyles. With Thompson absent, the race has morphed from a clash of three titans into a high-stakes battle of momentum and psychology. So, was Thompson right to step aside? And what does this mean for his rivalry with Seville and his looming collision course with Lyles at the World Championships? Let's break it all down. The start list update for Lausanne was meant to confirm one of the best races of the year, but instead it became the breaking story no one saw coming. KishaneThompson, the 975 phenomenon, who has blown away fields this season, was nowhere to be found. In his absence, the lineup still boasts firepower. NoahLyles chasing credibility in the 100 meter, ObliqueSeville, fresh off a dazzling 9.86 in London, Akani Simbine, the reliable South African veteran, Akeem Blake, Jamaica's fearless youngster, Zarnell Hughes, the British record holder, and Courtney Lindsay, another American hungry for a breakthrough. But make no mistake, without Thompson, this race feels fundamentally different. What was supposed to be the definitive test of the Big Three has become a dress rehearsal, and it has fans and pundits alike asking the same question: why now? For Thompson, who has never lost to Seville, Lausanne could have been another chance to stamp authority. Instead, his absence has lit a firestorm of debate that refuses to die down. Lausanne was supposed to be more than just another race. It was supposed to be the moment when the top sprinters of 2025 stood on the same track, head-to-head, with no excuses. Lyles had promised the world he was ready to run 9.8 low, his way of telling critics that he's not just a 200-meter star, but still a real threat in the 100. Seville had quietly pieced together the most complete performance of his career in London, executing his phases perfectly and leaving analysts raving about his form. And Thompson, the unrefined but devastatingly fast prodigy, had already run times no one else could touch. The hype was real. Fans were calling it the biggest pre-Worlds clash since Bolt's days. But with Thompson gone, that collision never happened. Instead, what should have been the ultimate measuring stick has been reduced to speculation. Was it injury management, a tactical decision by MVP? Or was Seville's form so sharp that Thompson's camp decided the risk wasn't worth it? Whatever the reason, the sprinting world was robbed of a preview we may now only see under the lights at the World Championships final. For ObliqueSeville, Lausanne has become something far more valuable than just another Diamond League race. It's a chance to redefine his career. Until now, he's lived in Thompson's shadow, consistently strong but never able to defeat him head-to-head. That changed in perception after London. It wasn't just fast, it was clean. No wasted energy, no sloppy phases, just pure technical execution from start to finish. Coaches and analysts agree. Seville looks sharper than ever, and his growth as an athlete has been undeniable this season. With Thompson absent, Lausanne is now his stage to dominate, to prove he's more than the other Jamaican, and to walk into Worlds with the swagger of a man ready to dethrone the favorite. Yet the shadow still lingers. Can Seville's victory over Lyles or Simbine carry the same weight without Thompson in the blocks? Perhaps not. But momentum in sprinting is priceless, and if Seville puts down another 9.8 performance, he won't just arrive in Tokyo as an underdog. He'll arrive as a man who believes destiny is finally on his side. KishaneThompson has only needed a handful of races this year to leave the track world stunned. His 9.75 not only stands as the fastest time of 2025, but it also places him in elite company historically, territory reserved for names like Bolt, Blake, and Gay. Yet what makes Thompson so fascinating is that he's still raw. His starts aren't always perfect, his form can look rough at times, and yet his top-end speed is so overwhelming that it doesn't matter. He doesn't need perfect execution, he simply runs past people. That combination of flaws and brilliance makes him both unpredictable and terrifying. But it also makes him a target. Seville has been studying him for years, and Lyles openly relishes the chance to expose his weaknesses. By pulling out of Lausanne, Thompson has protected his aura, keeping rivals guessing. Still, questions linger. Does this move suggest confidence or vulnerability? Is he hiding peak form for Worlds, or is he avoiding a scenario where Seville finally gets the upper hand? Thompson's speed is undeniable, but in a sport driven by psychology, the narrative is just as important as the stopwatch. And right now, the narrative has shifted. When NoahLyles speaks, the track world listens. And in the build-up to Lausanne, he was talking louder than ever. Promising a 9.8 low within the week, he set expectations sky high, almost daring critics to call his bluff. That's vintage Lyles, confident, charismatic, and unafraid to stir debate. But talk doesn't win races, and the results show a man still chasing his best in the 100-meter. He's been beaten by Thompson, he's been beaten by Seville, and his trademark 200-meter dominance hasn't always translated down to the shorter dash. Lausanne was his shot to change that, to finally silence the doubters and seize momentum ahead of Worlds. Without Thompson, the spotlight now shifts entirely onto him versus Seville. If Lyles delivers, he can walk into Worlds as America's last hope to challenge Jamaica's dominance. But if he falters again, the cracks in his 100-meter credentials will widen. The truth is, Lausanne may be less about winning the race and more about sending a message. Lyles knows that if he's not careful, this season could be remembered as the year Jamaica passed him by completely. So why did Thompson's camp pull him out? Look at the philosophy of MVP Track Club, and the answer becomes clearer. This is the camp that produced Shelly-Ann Fraser-Price, Elaine Thompson-Herah, and other champions. Their strategy is meticulous. Peak at the right time, protect your athlete's confidence, and avoid unnecessary risks. From that perspective, Lausanne was a trap. A win wouldn't have changed much. But a loss, especially to Seville, would have been devastating. Why hand your fiercest rival a psychological edge weeks before the World Championships? By withdrawing, MVP keeps Thompson's mystique intact, his unbeaten record against Seville preserved, and his training uninterrupted. To fans, it may look like dodging. To insiders, it looks like chess. But the gamble is clear. Thompson's next appearance has to justify the hype. Because if he falters in Tokyo, every skipped race and cautious withdrawal will be used against him. When the dust settles, Thompson's withdrawal may be remembered not as weakness, but as the move that raised the stakes higher than ever. Lausanne will still deliver fireworks, but the absence of the world leader has transformed it into a battle for momentum, not supremacy. Seville now has the chance to walk into Worlds as the man in form, while Lyles has the chance to prove he's still in the fight. Meanwhile, Thompson waits in the wings, his reputation intact, his true form still hidden. All roads now lead to Tokyo, where there will be no hiding, no withdrawals, and no second chances. If Seville finally topples Thompson, it will send shockwaves through the sport and crown a new king of Jamaica. If Thompson holds his ground, he'll cement himself as the heir to Usain Bolt's throne. And if NoahLyles somehow finds a way to spoil the party, it could be the comeback story of a generation. Until then, the only certainty is uncertainty. Lausanne may have lost its biggest name, but in doing so, it has set the stage for a World Championships 100-meter final that could go down in history as one of the greatest ever.